Alicia?
Hello? Hello? Okay. Could I motion to make the discussion on congressional hearing executive session?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. So let's, oh, well, can we wait till she live figured out and then we'll,
Oh, yeah.
okay, cool.
All right, guys.
Should I repeat anything or just say,
Do you remember what any of your votes were? How many people are here? 14?
yeah, 12. The agenda was 12 to 0 to 0. To who? The appointments?
Megan did who did the main agenda motion?
Huh?
Who did the main agenda motion?
Um, Sarah and then the live. Oh, you're good. Thank you, babe. Yeah. Oh, she ate. They did that. Wow. Good to go? Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we had Alicia motion, Jonathan second for the discussion on the congressional hearing to be executive session. Can we have all in favor, please raise your hand? Please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hands. All abstaining, please raise your hands. With 14 to 0 vote, that is approved. So we'll enter executive session for that discussion item. Okay. Back to our agenda, we're going to enter into public comment. Remember that our community guidelines when it comes to public comment, it's 30 minutes are allotted. Each public commenter gets 2 minutes to speak only once. Challenge ideas, not individuals. Use gender inclusive and respectful language. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. Each speaker will be given 2 minutes and the opportunity to speak once. And remember, no dehumanizing language. With that, we'll go ahead and kick off public comment. If you are here on Zoom for public comment, please raise your hand. Or if you're in here in person for public comment, please raise your hand there. Yes. Then remember to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Nate. I know a lot of you. I'm going to keep it short because I know you've had some very long meetings this quarter. I just want to thank you all for your hard work this year, to the current council members, and also to the newly elected council. I hope you continue to make this a welcoming place for all students.
Thank you.
Like the nicest comment of the year. Never liked that.
Anybody else in person for public comment or on Zoom? No on Zoom. Okay. Dang, no cover.
Okay.
I'm actually upset. that took me on the edge. Okay, um so we'll go ahead and end public comment at 7:28 p.m. and go ahead and turn next thing on the agenda. So we're gonna go ahead and start with funding. Oh, that was covered. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with funding with capital contingency. Lucy, go ahead.
Hello. This week I have allocations for both capital contingency and contingency programming. So starting with capital contingency, this week we had a total capital contingency programming request of $1,379.85, and we recommend an allocation of $810 for one non-USAC entity related org. Happy to answer any questions. And then after that, I can also go into the contingency programming one.
Any questions from council members? There? Yeah.
Sorry if I'm behind on this. I thought capital contingency was if we allocated from surplus, but didn't we not allocate from surplus to capital contingency?
From my understanding, I think we were given like 18,000 from surplus to the capital contingency fund.
Oh, got it. Cool. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Naomi.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. If no further questions on that, can we have a motion?
A motion to approve the capital contingency allocation of $810 for one non-USAC entity.
I second.
Mega motion, Salai seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hand. All abstaining, please raise your hands. We have 14 to 0 vote. That is approved. All right. Moving to contingency programming. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is also in the chat, but this week we had a total contingency programming request of $42,479.31. And we recommend an allocation of $12,619.67 for 43 non-USAC entity and 1 USAC entity related events. Happy to answer any questions, and then all of these allocations are also on the authorization sheet.
Any questions? Okay, can we get a motion for that one?
I motion to approve the contingency programming allocation of $12,619.67 for 43 non-USAC entity and 1 USAC entity related events.
I second.
Mega motion is the last seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hands. All abstaining, please raise your hands. We have a 14 to 0 vote. That is approved. Thank you. All right, now moving to SFS allocations.
Hi, for this week, we had a total requested amount of $5,518.62 and an allocation of $2,502.13 to 5 non-USAC entities.
All right, any opposition? That's approved. Thank you. All right, SWC programming fund allocations.
Yes, hello. I can't tell if if it's gonna let me send it. Oh, it does. Okay. It says that I'm Chai-Ying. Oh, okay. I use that. So that's Janice, but this week, thank you. Yeah, yeah, so it's thank you, Chai-Ying, for the last programming fund allocation. So this week we received $750 in requests from 1 USAC entity and then $518.50 from 1 non-USAC entity. And we recommend $0 for the USAC entity and then $460 to the 1 non-USAC entity. Thank you.
Any opposition? All right, that is approved. Thank you. And now going down to ARG allocations.
Hello? Okay. This past week we approved 8,700 to 5 non-USAC entities.
Any opposition? All right, that is approved. TGIF.
Hello, the Green Initiative Fund allocated $1,522 to 1 non-USAC entity.
Amazing. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and move into our special presentations. We have a presentation of the 2024-2025 USAC Council.
Does this work? Oh, hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Milan. Hello, hello. Hi everyone. Happy to see all of our candidates here, but now council members. So I'm Milan. Just like to introduce myself. I'm the current 2024 Elections Board Chair, and I'm here to present the official new council members who were elected just recently. So first we have for president we have Adam Toffoli. Toffoli. I'm sorry, I don't know. Great, congratulations, Adam. Okay, next we have Josh Garland for internal vice president. And then for external vice president, we have Javier Nunez Verdugo. And then for Gen Rep 1, we have Diego Emilio Bola. And then Gen Rep 2 is Tommy Contreras. And then Gen Rep 3, Chris Ramsey. And then for our commissioners, we have Chris Espino for Academic Affairs Commissioner. And then Robbie Hall for Campus Events Commissioner. And then Carolyn Wang for Community Service Commissioner.
You win.
And then Alicia Verdugo for Cultural Affairs Commissioner. And then Alexandra Paul for Facilities Commissioner. And then Nico Marone for Financial Supports Commissioner. And Kiara Frank for Student Wellness Commissioner. And then Mona Tavasoli for Transfer Student Representative. And then lastly, Saeed Tamim Ahmad for International Student Representative. Okay, perfect. And those are all of the elected new council. So thank you all so much for a great election cycle. And yeah.
Thank you, Milan. I love you.
Love you too. Love you, Pookie. Okay. Amazing. It better be. Okay. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and head into our next agenda item, which is appointments. So we have two appointments for tonight. We have ASUCLA Communications Board. With that, appointments, we have the applicant give a 1-minute introduction. We go into a brief question and answer period. Then the applicant gives their 1-minute conclusion. We hear from ARC and their recommendations from their interview. Then we deliberate. So council just talks amongst each other, as it says any concerns, questions that they might have. And then we go into the vote. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and get started with Katie. Whenever you're ready. We can lower it. Or you can just take it if you want. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Chu. I'm a first year, but I'll be graduating next year. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm a geography environmental studies major and Asian language minor. And I'm applying for the undergraduate member position of the operations committee on the ASUCLA Communications Board.
Amazing. Thank you. And well, congratulations for next year. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead. Questions from council members. There.
Hi, thank you so much for coming to council during week 8 ? Could you talk a little bit about some experiences that you have that will help you in this role? And or just like any or qualities that you have as well.
Yes, so student media has always been a passion of mine. I've consistently participated in student media organizations since high school. During my 3 years of high school, I was always part of my high school newspaper as a writer, comic artist, layout editor, and eventually as editor-in-chief. And during my first year here at UCLA, I participated as a writer for the arts and culture section of the Pacific Times News magazine and as a designer for the Daily Bruin. Both of those organizations provided a unique experience into UCLA student media in that one was a large campus-wide organization that covered the experiences of the entire Bruin community, whereas one was a smaller organization that focused specifically on the Asian American community on campus. And being able to meld both of those experiences has definitely provided me a lot of insight into how best to represent both sides of the story, both a larger, more campus-wide perspective and a more focused perspective on how one community interacts with others on campus. And although I may not have as much experience as an editor or a more seasoned writer or reporter, my consistent participation in student media has provided a lot of insight into leadership positions in student media.
Thank you. Jonathan?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, Katie. I wanted to ask you, so I am actually not marketing, managing editor for La Gente, and I kind of was wondering just like how do you hope to reach out or communicate with the different news magazines? You know, they have a long and very important history on this campus, and just making sure that they're properly supported, represented, and heard. So, is there anything that you kind of have in mind that you're going to do if appointed to the communications board to advocate for these groups?
Yes, of course. The main role of the operations committee and what really drew me to the position is that it gives me an opportunity to work directly with the editorial staff and the students of the different student media publications. I've only have experience on those two, but it will be a great opportunity to be able to reach out and network directly with these editors. As I understand it, the main responsibilities on the communications board for this position would be to during the monthly meetings, and if the editors in chief ever have to reach out for any issues or if they need any support, this committee will be the one that they will come to. So I would just want to be using whatever modes of communication are available for this committee. I will want to just stay in constant communication with all the editors in chief, and if any issues were to arise, then I would want myself and my peers on the board, should I be offered this position, to be available to support.
Thank you. Any other questions from council members? All right, well, feel free to give your 1 minute concluding statement.
So as someone who has always had a passion for student media and who really admires what UCLA student media stands for, not just for this campus, but for the greater community and the world, at a time when we see so much partisan news and a lot of misinformation being spread online, it really helps to have a solid platform on campus that protects students' ability to that protects students' ability to share their genuine opinions about things that are going on campus and in the world, and to share objective and accurate information, and to be a part of the leadership that mediates that exchange, that free exchange of ideas, would be an extremely rewarding experience.
Thank you. All right, let's hear from ARC and their recommendations.
ARC provided Katie with ARC voted 3-0 for Katie, and our ARC statement reads: Katie provided a very impressive and responsive interview. Her experience in student media will serve her well in this position, as she was a staffer for both the Daily Bruin and Pacific Ties magazine. With a 3-0 vote, we would like to recommend Katie to the ASCCLA Communications Board.
Thank you. All right, now we'll just have brief deliberations. Is there any comments, concerns from council regarding this applicant? Yeah.
Hi, Katie. Nice to see you. I personally have known Katie as a member of Pacific Ties, because that's a news magazine that I also contributed to, and I was also your orientation leader. So seeing you here is super exciting. And I cannot attest enough to the fact that Katie is very hardworking and is very impressive, and I think that she'll serve well on the communications board. I will be abstaining from the vote, but I still would strongly recommend her for the position.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other comments, concerns? Oh, Megan.
I just want to point out that she does have experience in student media, and I think a lot of the candidates that we've interviewed before haven't really had as much like experience within student media with the Daily Bruin or any other publications. So this is very refreshing.
Awesome. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and put it to a vote. Can I have a motion?
I move to appoint Katie to the ASUCLA Communications Board.
Nice.
All right, Sarah motions, Jonathan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All right, please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hands. All abstaining, please raise your hands. All right, with a 13-0 to 1 vote, that is approved. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Okay. Go ahead. All right. Now we have one more appointment for the night. Rosalie?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Feel free to give your 1 minute statement whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rosalie Chang. I'm a first year communications, intending to major in communications. I'm Taiwanese American. I was homeschooled for most of my life, and I feel like I've had a very unique life, and I'd love to be able to give my unique perspectives in everything.
Awesome, thank you. All right, with that, we'll go into questions from council members. Any questions? Sarah, go ahead, kick us off.
Hi, thank you so much for coming to our council meeting during week 8. My question, same question. Could you talk about some of the past experiences or qualities that you have that will make you well suited for this role?
Yes. So like I said earlier, I was homeschooled for most of my life since first grade to 12th grade. And this is because my brother, he has nonverbal severe autism. And so throughout his life, he couldn't speak. And I was always there to be able to give him a voice in everything. And things like fighting for making sure he gets medical insurance and things like that, I've always had to work hard for, and making sure that he isn't just pushed aside just because he can't speak. And also, I've also been a working actor since I was 9 years old. Um, I was in the movie, I was the first woman of color to lead a Pixar movie. And since then, it has given me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Taiwanese American community. Specifically, I've been able to give a TED talk and speak at the Taiwanese American Festival because especially Taiwanese representation has been very limited in the media. And so being able to be a voice for them and give my perspective as an Asian in the entertainment industry, even though it was so difficult, I feel like being able to give that perspective has been very honorable. And also, currently, I am the director of external affairs for the Film and Photography Society at UCLA. And through that, I'm basically able to promote FPS, the brand, and making sure its reputation stays pristine while also promoting it to other students who may not be aware of it and giving them opportunities to succeed in the entertainment industry.
Thank you. Alicia?
Is there something that you want to expand or create within this position, or something you would like to take initiative on to expand the capabilities of the ASUCLA Com Board?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like obviously perspective is a very big part, and I feel like a lot of the times the biggest thing is just asking questions and making sure other students are heard in positions. And as someone who's been in the acting industry, the whole industry is essentially just talking to people and getting to know them, and that's how you can succeed. And I feel like I can very much apply that into the USAC, and I'm essentially ready to take on whatever tasks I'm given. And I hope to be able to expand on the Asian American representation, because I feel like even though there are a lot of Asian Americans at UCLA, they aren't necessarily heard, and I hope to be able to be that voice for them.
Thank you. Any other questions from council members? Joffin?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rosalie, for coming tonight. I wanted to ask you a similar question that I asked Katie about. There's these different news magazines and other publications that ASUCLA Student Media focuses on, in particular for marginalized communities and students of color and such. How do you look to not prioritize, but kind of uplift these voices or make yourself available to these publications and to the students behind these publications to make sure that their needs and that their concerns are properly heard, understood, and acknowledged?
Yes, I think the most important thing is about being proactive and just asking people on students. I feel like as um, as someone who may have started out more shy, it was definitely more intimidating. But I think as time goes on and just getting other people's perspective and asking, I'm in Professor Cornell's class of political communication. I'm also taking another class at UCLA about propaganda and media. and learning about how misinformation spreads and students sometimes aren't heard. I hope to be able to elevate their voices and not just one voice, but many diverse voices, because that's the most important thing, is getting those diverse perspectives from everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, go ahead with your 1 minute concluding. Wait, yes, go ahead with your 1 minute concluding statement. Sorry, I glitched.
Yes, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I wanted to major in communications because I have such a passion for making sure everyone is heard. As someone who's grown up with a brother who was always pushed aside because he doesn't have a physical voice, I hope to not only be able to provide that voice for people who don't feel like they can speak up, but also making it a safe environment and a comfortable environment. So that way anyone can feel comfortable in speaking up and voicing their opinions. Because at the end of the day, I feel like everyone's opinions matter, and I hope to be able to elevate that of every single community.
Thank you. All right, now let's hear Art's recommendation.
ARC recommended Rosalie with a 3-0 vote, and our statement reads, Rosalie presented a very impressive interview and application. She has a very clear understanding of the role of the ASCC Communications Board. Her unique experiences in media and entertainment proved to be more than adequate for this position. With a 3-0 vote, we would like to recommend Rosalie for the ASCC Communications Board for the.
Oh, yours. Oh. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, brief time for deliberations. Any comments, concerns before we put it to a vote? Okay. With that, can we get a motion?
I'd like to motion to approve of Rosalie Chang for the ASCC Communications Board position for the 23-24 year.
Second.
Okay. Megan motions, Jonathan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hands. All abstaining, please raise your hands. All right, with a 14-0 vote, that is approved. Thank you. All right. With that, we'll go
Thank you
ahead
so much.
into our last officer reports. Oh. I was looking for that. Okay. Definitely. Cool. All right. So just a couple things, couple meetings wrapping up for the office. Attended the CFCC meeting to talk about events campus-wide that are happening throughout for the remainder of the year. Me and Eva continue to have our daily check-ins that now turn to twice a week check-ins for this, right? No, yeah, this week, yeah. Oh, what? Okay. So now we have the daily check-ins that now turned to this week for the two twice a week check-ins with Monroe Gordon, GSA representatives, Mitt DeLuca, Michael Beck, and Seppi Seplo. I attended our True Brand Values Refresh Steering Committee meeting to discuss next steps of what the committee would actually like to do with the remainder of the term. I attended our Executive Sustainability Committee and also met with Michael Beck along with other council members for our USAC monthly meeting. And then my office is just wrapping up the planning of our last de-stress week and the leadership banquet that we aim to host in the coming weeks before the quarter ends. I was going to do this at the end, but since we're going to go into executive session at the end, I'll do it now. But yeah, if you know me, I like to give people their flowers. I don't think this year was anything that we expected it to be. But I am grateful to know each and every one of you, and I truly mean that. I really wish I got to know most or some of you all as people, but do always know when we came to these meetings, I always tried to think of you first as a person before your role. Um, I think when I came to UCLA, I really thought this was not a place to just be here, but succeed here and help others do that as well. And I really think with this platform, with the things that we were able to accomplish as a council this year, I think we did do our best. That doesn't mean that there's still work to be done, because y'all, Nets Council knows. Nets Council knows there's so much work to be done. But I think we truly did an amazing job. I'm grateful to know you all. I hope you know if you ever need anything, I am a phone call away. text me, call me, whatever. If you need something, I will do my best to do it for you. And with that, I have flowers. So yeah, sorry, new council. I low-key a little forgot that y'all were gonna be when I put these up earlier. Y'all can share if you want, but like the flowers are for like, the flowers are for the old commission. Okay, but cool. I'm gonna pass this out as I pass it to Eva. Or Megan? Megan? Then Eva? Megan, Eva. Yeah.
This week I was working on a lot of transition documents. Still, still continuing with that. I am continuously adding more and more things for Josh. Sorry. But I swear I'll help you later. I did prepare like a longer officer report that is already on my document. But first, I'd like to apologize. This is very long, so new council members, please do not use this as an example for what your officer report should look like. Um, since the last USAC meeting, I've been slowly transitioning all the crucial information needed to my successor, and I'm very excited, grateful, and proud to present Josh Garland as the incoming USAC Internal Vice President for the 2024-2025 school year. As I finish up my term as IVP, I'd like to list out some of the things our office was able to accomplish, and I want to give my most sincere thanks to everyone I've acquainted myself with over the past year. So this year, my office managed to hire about 30 directors, about 25 general staff members, and recruited over 20 interns to the IVP office. I gave them super, super obscure committee titles like ETA, ESC, SSN, etc. But nevertheless, they managed to produce some of our largest projects in the IVP office. With them, we were able to have a successful enormous activities fair and USAC open house. Later in the fall, we also successfully supported the marketing of the ASC Slate T-shirt contest and participated in choosing the design. We were able to co-host the True Bruins Raise award ceremony alongside GSA, giving out several awards to Bruins who assisted other Bruins in a crisis. Our administrative relations committee hosted a administrative meet and greet event with some of our administrators with guests from other USAC offices and organizations. Thank you. Our events committee participated in ACA's Lunar New Year Festival, a holiday that's very near and dear to my heart. Besides that, my committees were able to post USAC meeting agenda previews on social media with hopes to increase accessibility to our meetings in council, hosted multiple funding workshops to try to better the understanding of USAC funding resources to newer organizations, participated in multiple resource fairs hosted by other USAC offices. Co-hosted events with the Career Center and other USAC offices to expand students' knowledge of professional resources on campus, and all while mostly consistently hosting midterm and finals de-stress events on Bruinwalk. By the way, we'll be hosting one last finals de-stress event, which will be a make your own boba event with free Diddy Reese cookies, so watch out week 10. Continuing, our office hosted another successful off-campus housing fair with several vendors attending, raising thousands of dollars for the Housing Relief Fund. And speaking of the Housing Relief Fund, we managed to increase the amount from $50,000 to $75,000 to give as grants for students facing housing insecurity. So thank you to the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships for facilitating the transfer of the funds. As the chair of the Appointments Review Committee, I've interviewed nearly 100 people for USAC appointment positions. With most of them being appointed, and my last interview was this morning, hopefully. As the IVP, I've been in meetings with the HSI, Career Center, OVSL, Soul, and Overdose Narcan Distribution Task Force, Basic Needs Coalition, several USAC offices, multiple cultural organizations, and so many organizations and administrators that I can't remember off the top of my head because I wrote this at 5 in the morning. I've made several bylaw changes to update our horrendously outdated bylaws, which I will still be finishing up, so please look forward to that. I have sponsored and co-sponsored multiple resolutions with you all, and I even created an entire resolution guide, which is on the USAC website, which I hope the new council members will use for when the time comes. And more recently, I've been advocating for students' academic amnesty, legal amnesty, and more. Even though we still haven't received much clarity for the majority of our questions, I'm extremely proud of all of our council members, and I have no doubt we will still be continuing our work even after tonight. With the term ending, I'd like to sincerely thank all of you, from our president to our administrative reps, to every single person who believed in me in this position. It was truly an honor to be on the same USAC council as all of you, and I wish you all success and happiness in the future. I'm also happy to say that you will not be getting rid of me because I'm announcing my new role as AIVP for the 2024-2025 school year.
Pay me. Pay me.
But seriously, I could not ever have enough words to express how much I've learned, experienced, and grown over this past year. And I'm truly grateful for all of you grateful to all of you for being a part of it. And with that, I'd like to finish off this last officer report and pass it over. So thank you, everyone.
Okay. 8 devoured. Very 4+4. Eva.
Hi everyone. Sorry that my officer reports are always already like the longest and like it's the last one, so I kind of have to go a little hard. So like if you need a breather, just tell me to shut up and I'll shut up. So obviously continuing, I'm first gonna talk about things I've been up to since last week. Then I'm gonna like kind of copy Megan and share EVP's office accomplishments, and then third, give my thank you. So that's my roadmap. Shout out the debate kids in here. Okay. First, we've been continuing our daily check-ins with vice chancellors and assistant vice chancellors to get answers about the continued injustice that the university's been doing to our Palestinian and pro-Palestinian communities. Those check-ins are continuing daily. I think the new president and the new EVP will be in those. So if you are Adam or Javier, you'll be seeing an email from me or Naomi. The link to my notes on those meetings have been and are still on my officer report. And as always, please ask me questions that you'd like to raise in those meetings. Some specific updates are just like the main thing that we've learned, I think, in the past week is just inconsistency and that no one knows what's going on. New AVC Brazil doesn't know what's going on. Monroe doesn't know what's going on. Mick doesn't know. They literally always tell us incorrect things, and then UCOP is always like, actually, that's wrong. Blah 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 blah. In terms of like who did what, so no one knows what's going on. But if you have any further questions, please reach out to me. Also, as you all may have seen, Chancellor Block is testifying before Congress on Thursday. I'm meeting with our government and community relations team probably tomorrow or shortly after that meeting happens. So if you have a question that you'd like to pass on to them, I'm happy to do so. And I am going to Oakland tomorrow to meet with President Drake and tell him that he's bald. Sorry, I had to do that again. It was really funny. Second part of my yapping is things our EVP office did. I've been involved in EVP for 4 years, and I have a huge ego, but I still think it's objective to say that our office was the most successful EVP office that I've seen at UCLA in the past 4 years. So I want to really credit David and Katie and all my directors who have just been like absolutely proactive and amazing. Our office had more engagement with the UC Regents than I've ever seen. And I think that helped get UCLA involved a little bit as well. We also had more engagement with UCSA than I've seen. We have, I think, like 11 out of 660 board spots. I think my math is wrong, which is very unprecedented leadership and experience on the UC Student Association and its governing body, and I think that's absolutely incredible. We have had the most engagement with the local elected, state electeds, and federal electeds that I've ever seen, including actual member level meetings. More consistent lobbying, even though it like low-key wasn't on enough, but that's T for Javier. I think no one laughed. Okay. Guys, I'm funny, I promise. We actually met with members and we actually like got commitments from legislators, and that is not something I saw previous EVPs do. So like not to like pat myself on the back, but I think the EVP office was absolutely amazing. We had the best Bruins Vote coalition by far that I've ever seen since its founding. And through that and just other outreach efforts, we are able to reach more of campus than I've seen. And I can't understate enough like how proud I am of everyone in the office and how like truly it was such a privilege to know anyone and like hire them and to just like to see them grow, I think, throughout the year. And I hope everyone knows I'm going to be stalking to like see what EVP does. EVP is like like my baby, I think, and like it's helped me like find my community at UCLA and like not to be sappy, but like it's like I love EVP so much and like I'm like it's bittersweet to let it go, but like I know it's in great hands. And so this is sort of where I transition to my thank yous. First to Javier, I'm so proud of you. I've seen you grow from a fellow to the EVP in like an hour, and that's so like wild to me. And I know that you won't stop growing. So like, and I know that you'll do what you got to do, and you'll do it better than I could do it, and like anyone. So just keep being you, and don't forget to reach for the stars because you'll get there. And I'm always a text or call away. Like, please. I always like bugged my predecessor. So like all the time. So, and that goes for anyone here. I'm an open book. I want to spill the tea. Um, to SGS, I want to thank y'all for being support when I like needed help firing people and like, I'm kidding.
I missed the word.
When I didn't know what to do, when I didn't know what to do and Chat GPT didn't help me, y'all were there. And when I needed to steal candy because I was hungry, like all of that, I really appreciate y'all being there. And you really put the support in like the title, especially Jonathan, because that's in your title. um, to the old council with us, like with me, like I love you all. I'm glad to see you all kind of like I'm glad to have grown with you. And I'm also going to be stalking. So like get a LinkedIn because I'll be there. And I'm always a phone call away, like Naomi said. To the new council members, be better than us. I think you probably will. I think that's like just how change happens. It happens, very with intermediate changes. And I think like, that is something that like inherently happens with a cyclical annual council. So just keep that up. Don't like, affirm. Yeah. And then some things to do, affirm basic rights, be proactive. Administration does not want to mess with you, so reach out to them because they don't care. Like, I'm gonna be so real, they don't care. You got to be the ones that make them care. I think that's how like EVP had such a big impact this year. I think we all were like, okay, they don't care, we'll make them care. So do that. And just reach out to me if you have any questions, even if we don't know each other. Like, I love gossiping. And lastly, I forgot to include this in my other part, but EVP will be donating $30,000 to ECRT and UCLA Transportation for safe parking and for basic needs funding.
Yeah.
So if I'm really hoping that that work can continue next year, I think. And lastly, if anyone has a connection for an urban planning job, hit me up.
Got you. Really? Sure. Thank you. Loki, I'm going back because I didn't know we were doing all this. We didn't mention this in the little. Y'all didn't say that. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Katie.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess first I'll go and say kind of the highlights of my office this year. It was really interesting coming from someone who had no USAC experience to join USAC. And definitely a little scary. I don't know if I would recommend it. But here I am and the year's over. So true. Yeah, so my office had a really fun time with our financial literacy night, our essay contests, our It's On Us events, and our midterm de-stressors. And I'm really grateful for my directors and for my friends for helping me get through this year. And I'm also really grateful to all of you for helping me
grow not only as a council member and in my position, but also as a person and an individual, and in kind of my opinions. And thank you so much for allowing me to have this space to learn who I am. I also am really grateful to God and for UCLA for just this amazing experience, and I am hoping that the next council will have a really smooth time. I would definitely say to make sure that you prioritize yourself, and that when you have disagreements on council, that you will come to each other, as Naomi says, as individuals first and foremost before anything else, and that you'll be able to really discuss uh, things in a very healthy manner. And yeah, so I really am giving my best this next year's council. Thank you so much to admin for all you guys have done and for supporting us. It was a really fun year. And thank you to Naomi for your leadership and your guidance. So yeah, this is me signing off. Thank you guys so much. And I'm really looking forward to what council does next year. And remember to stay true to who you are and to be kind to each other.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll go ahead to Gabby.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so this year has just been unimaginably difficult. And I'm so grateful that we made it through and we've come to the end. I just wanted to sincerely thank my directors for helping me out during the most difficult times. And I also just wanted to thank the council members who always checked in on me and stood by my side. Yeah, and wishing you all the best. And yeah, take care.
Thank you. Now I'll pass it to Jonathan. Oh,
Hello, hello. Yeah, I have some updates, but I'm also y'all know me to yap. I'm someone who verbalizes my my reports. I love to talk, I guess. Um, but some updates from me. So I attended the meeting with Vice Chancellor Beck as well to discuss campus safety in the previous events earlier this month. I met with the Gen Reps earlier today to discuss transitioning and the duties of the General Representative's office, so that was very nice. I'm working on a transparency report for the year, which my office will put out soon, just to kind of outline our finances, outline what we really did in terms of numbers. I've transitioned out, working on the last couple of things in Rex, but besides that, I'm officially done. But again, in the spirit of yapping, I have a lot. So we've made it now to the end. I very much recall the very beginning that we came together as a council for the first time ever more than a year ago. We had dreams, ideas, and perspectives that now we've worked on. For me personally, when I came into UCLA my freshman year, it was a time we were all far away. We remember the, COVID-19, and during that, the height of the pandemic when we were all separated. And while USAC is USAC, and we know, it also jump-started me to get to where I am and more importantly, who I am today. I started off as a wee little intern for Office of the President. I remember those times. I was very nervous and very scared. I was very much inside, like, very much a closed person. But then, I went forward. I became a director for Office of the President. I became a chief of staff for our beloved president this year, last year, and now I ended as an accomplished council member. And now I'm very happy with the work that my office has done. While the Gen Rep offices are small and humble, we also have the ability to be mighty and resourceful. We've co-authored resolutions, we've written and passed our own resolutions, we've discussed, conversed, and have tirelessly researched different policies to represent our students. We've appointed many a plenty, thank you, Meggie, collaborated in workshops and free masking/hand sanitizers. We've managed to advocate for digital brewing cards, greater sanitary procedures, and most importantly, a Latina resource center. This wouldn't have been possible without council here who supported these initiatives and collaborated when needed. And as I came to UCLA as a freshman, I looked for a space to meet my people and feel at home. And while it took years of advocacy and work before me, before many of us were even, frankly adults, it truly excites me from the bottom of my heart to bring this forward. And while we may not have succeeded in all that we have proposed ourselves, the attempt and the struggle taught those who come after us a lot, and those just form lessons that we carry on. More than anything, I want to thank my wonderful staff and directors, my chief of staffs, Andrea and Celeste, who, carried me, who really kept me reasonable. Melissa and Crystal, my other executives, who very reasonably also held me to the highest regard and helped me make sure that I maintained who I was, even in the most difficult of times and the most trying of times. My directors, Sarah, Kristen, and Caitlin, who tirelessly worked to ensure that our procedures and all of the work the Gen Rep office was doing, and of course our staff, Toki, Manuel, Julissa, and Sarai, who all together made the Gen Rep office what it was this past year. So I really want to thank them. But on that note, also on this coming council, 5 Latine, for my knowledge, entering this year. I am very, very proud of you all. We've gone from 1 to 2 to 5. And me and Alicia at least can attest that it's a struggle sometimes to represent our people in our community. And as we enter soon 2025 and the university becomes a Hispanic serving institution, I urge you all to use your intuition and strength to push forward to support our community. Our community who has lovingly made this university into what it is today. From the very foundation of this institution, Latinas have always been here and built this institution brick by brick, literally. The staff who care from this campus have done so for years. And for those lovely allies, I ask you to support and elevate the voices that have previously been ignored, and not just the Latina community either. To some of you, however, I hope that as you enter the world, you use your time in USAC as a jumping off platform to properly educate and familiarize yourself with the struggles of groups unfamiliar to your own and hold the most important element in this world, solidarity. I find it upsetting that council meetings have often been placed to some of the most violent experiences for myself and other marginalized communities on this campus. Nonetheless, I'm firm in the belief in growth and development for all, so I wish that for you. To the rest of council, however, thank you for your strength and vigor. Thank you for your collaboration and virtue that has brought you this far. I only wish the best for all of you, and I'm thoroughly excited to see the great leaders that now enter the world. I'm incredibly appreciative that I had such brilliant and inquisitive individuals around me. For those coming in, good luck. You're gonna need it. And for those coming back, Adam, welcome to round 2. Or the lovely Alicia, welcome to round 3. And thank you all. It really has been a highlight of my undergraduate career to represent and uplift the student body and provide voices to those previously unseen. You will be getting rid of me, unfortunately or fortunately, as I will be moving and graduating, and I will be going to New York for a fellowship this coming year. But as one student leader to many new student leaders here, I am here for you whether I'm a city, a state, or a continent away, which I have before. It's my pleasure to also introduce the upcoming general representatives of this year, Diego, Tommy, and Chris, who I know will carry the work forward to support and listen the needs of the variety of our students in our wide, expansive, beautiful campus. Signing off, the 2023-2024 General Representative 3.
All right. Sujana. Is that on? Oh.
Oh, is it? Okay. Hello. I don't have anything prepared, and I also don't want to cry, so this will probably be pretty brief. But my updates are like my updates. I did typical AAC stuff, and that's all like on the document. This year, I was really glad to have had. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry already. To have done like the midterm. I don't like change. Like I don't like things ending. I don't like moving out. Like it's like all sad. Yeah. But we got to do our midterm stress relief week. Got to do that kind of like twice, and the incomplete notation policy removal and books for Bruins and everything, which was amazing. I think the work was fantastic. I was just really fortunate to be able to grow a lot personally and professionally and to learn so much about myself, which I never could have done without the people who are supporting me, the USAC council members, the ASU CLA support staff, and everyone in my office who just really picked me up when I needed it, who helped me out whenever I let things slip my mind and always had the right advice and knew the right things to say, to keep everything going. I am so excited and proud of Chris. I know that he's going to do an amazing job. I was Chris's chief of Senate, then I was Chris commissioner, and he's been going along with me. And so I know that there's just no one better to step into the role. I feel like there's like 100 things I wish I'd done differently, but at least I can leave knowing that it was such a rewarding and transformative experience. I'll definitely never forget it. And I'm very grateful to everybody and for this space for everything it taught me. So yes, I'm also always here. Reach out if you ever need anything, and I will reach out too. Thank you.
Okay, Mason.
Hi everyone. I only have one thing to plug and then I'll get corny and thankful and everything. But Short Takes Film Festival is June 3rd in Kirkhoff Grand Salon. Check our Instagram for more details. The submissions are already closed, but we are going to announce the host speaker soon, and it's going to be really fun. So come to that. It's going to be our last event of the year. Yes, yes. Besides that, I've been working with Robbie, the new campus events commissioner. Yes. Thank you. And all of our directors or all of his, oh my God, his directors, not mine, or have been hired for next year. So that's all really exciting. So we can get working on hopefully like fall quarter stuff like as soon as possible. Like we love to be ahead of schedule when we can be. But besides that, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Like this has been the craziest like learning experience. Before I was commissioner, I was just like a staffer in the online marketing department of CEC, which is like a crazy jump to do. I had leadership experience, mind you, like I'm not nobody, but I did just want to be the head of this organization because I love this organization so much and I love the people that are in it and I love the work that we get to do for students on campus and bringing them entertainment that they want to see. And it's just been very rewarding and very like awesome, and working with you guys, like I could not have done this without all of you guys, like with your support and just like guiding me through the mess that is USAC, like this bureaucracy and everything. Like it's a lot. And specifically SGS, also all the help that you guys have given me has been like awesome. So thank you to everyone. And yeah, I don't want to get too corny, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Good luck to everyone next year, because like Jonathan said, you will need it.
Y'all are so funny. All right, passing it to Jie Ying.
Hello, hello. Hi. Okay, mine is also going to be a little bit lengthy, but I'm going to start off with present updates. So it's my kind of like last official week as commissioner and still very busy. I think it's my peak season, trying to finish out for the rest of the year, trying to follow up with like outstanding things for like surplus allocations to the SARV Awards, PO for our venues and requisitions, and then want to plug our final event this Friday. So after this Friday, I'm like, hopefully I can like bow out and just like chill. But it's Service Impact Summit. I've been talking about it all quarter. It's an opportunity for you to be inspired by service leaders to celebrate the amazing change makers at UCLA. It's going to be at Luskin. We have a keynote speaker. We have over 30 student projects at Showcase, and even like student researchers who are working on social justice projects. And we have an award ceremony, and Jonathan will be there to present Robert S. Michael Scholarship Award. So if you want to see Jonathan hand out awards, like be there. There's gonna be free lunch, really like good food from Luskin, like really good food. I've seen the menu, refreshments all day, and if I haven't sold you already with like like the main like objective of the event, we also have a chance to win an iPad, AirPods, and products supporting businesses with positive social and environmental impact, including Palestinian refugees and indigenous businesses. So come through. All the information's on my officer report, and I hope to see you guys there. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go into kind of just like a recap of what CSE has done this year. I first and foremost, I just want to start by saying that I'm super proud of oh my God, I hope I don't cry too. But of like my staff, and it's really like all of them who have been the backbone of the organization, and all the accomplishments that I'm reading off. Like soon it's really because of them. So I'm really grateful. So first and foremost, we co-established the Student Coalition for Basic Needs, brought together a bunch of student groups who are addressing basic needs and security, and together we solidified like a constitution, and now we have a Slack and a system to maintain continuous collaboration and communications. And it's really great to see how like different officers, even in USAC, come in and we've accomplished like a few things, including permanently retiring dining account holds, and also like with like EVP like working on like safe parking with rain shelter. So it's a great foundation to continue advocacy efforts in the future, and hopefully yeah, so we're really proud of that coalition. We have also expanded and increased the impact of our programming efforts. When I came in as a fellow in CSC, and I was super scarred because one of my first events as an intern was like this event that literally had like a panel with like 5 people attending it. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And like this year, we have like increased the average of our attendees to like in the hundreds. So I'm like, it's just been like very emotional to see how we've grown. And from like 5 events in the past year, this year we put up 10 different programs. So yeah, we've really come a long way. And during my tenure in CSC as well, we founded 3 new events: Advocacy Fest, revived it, Service Impact Summit, and the Reimagining Safety documentary screening. We incorporated feedback mechanisms and service education components in all our events and quarterly transparency reports and funding bodies. Made progress to make resources and information a lot more accessible. So we had our transportation and funding cheat sheets. I'm finishing up on a 50-page comprehensive like guide to service booklet for all service organizations for them to know, have like service education resources, insurance, event planning, fundraising, all that jazz, everything they need to succeed as an organization. We increased allocations to SFS by $25,000, changed CS Transport funding guidelines to include more cycles to cover overseas service trips, allocated 20K to ECRT and 15K to a new community project development fund for CSE projects to collaborate in service. And I also had the honor of serving on BOD and Student Risk Education Committee, as well as the Civic Learning and Democratic Engagement Network. We established a new CSE mailing listserv with over 600 student subscribers, and also have a lot more direct service within CSE staff, including a holiday donation drive, as well as direct volunteering with Water Drop LA at Skid Row, and also just like created more connections with groups. So like other offices, AAC, EVP, IVP, African Student Union. So I'm just super proud of all the things that we achieved in this past year. And okay, now going to like to like the current council. It's really been an honor serving on council with everyone. And even though it hasn't been smooth sailing and we have had our fair share of challenges and differences along the way, I know that all of us have tried our best in our own ways to represent like the students. And I've really grown a lot from being in this space. So thank you for being in community with me and for yeah, just like being part of this entire experience. And I have no doubt that all of you are going to do great things, be it on council or after you graduate. And then also want to shout out to our admin staff, Jonathan, Jessica, Laurie, Orlando, Fernando, and Josh from SGA, because I bugged him a lot, for your patience and for doing your best to always like represent us. And then to the new council, congratulations on being elected. Um, you being here just shows that students have put their faith and trust in you. So never forget that. And along the way, always remember why you ran in the first place. Don't lose sight of your purpose. And I think just a word of advice is really try your best to listen to marginalized communities as well as each other, because sometimes things get heated, things get pretty polarized, but it's always important to, like what Naomi said, see each other as humans and try to like bridge that gap as much as you can. But yeah, and then now I'm gonna like I'm very excited to also introduce Carolyn as the next community service commissioner. Woo! She's one of the current programming directors, so one of the key people who have like made programming the way it is this year, and super passionate, capable, outgoing, and I'm very, very confident that she's going to bring CSC to even greater heights. So be nice to her for next year. And yeah, and thank you just to everybody for such a transformative time at USAC. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, passing it to Alicia.
Hello. Okay. Um, it is day 228 of the ongoing siege in Gaza, and last Wednesday marks the 76th year of the ongoing Nakba. I want to start off my officer updates this way until Palestine is free. So please keep your eyes on Palestine. The media is riddled with Zionism, and I want to update that in this past week, Israel has attacked Gamal Adwan Hospital 4 times, which is the largest functioning hospital in north of Gaza with 2.3 million people there. As the Israeli occupation forces fired at the gates, hitting the ICU and reception area and roof, 20 staff and 13 patients were trapped inside. I want to encourage everyone here to please stop and join the Popular University for Palestine on campus. It is ongoing every single day with education from many, many professors here and organizers in the LA community. There's education, community, art, food. And also visit our link tree if you have anything you can to donate to families and GoFundMe's in Palestine. Yes. Um, as for me, the CAC for the third time, um, I am hiring right now and I will be reaching out to Robbie, obviously, Pam, Lori, and every other organizer and administrator that helps us plan Broom Bash, EAF, and RecFest very soon later this week. I'm also planning for a small dinner for my directors and a retreat day to transition my previous directors out. Really, really small thing. And I will also be working on an updated bylaw change for BDS, boycott, divest, sanctions, in the next week after I met with Jack last week and forwarding it to Josh, the new IVP this Friday. Yeah, I'm very proud to say I'm the first commissioner of CAC for 3 times. This past year, thank you. Um, I knew since I was a freshman that like this is going to be a possibility for me to make this historical change in USAC. So I'm very happy it came true, and I'm very happy that I'm almost done. Very this first year has been the hardest for me yet, even harder than my first year as commissioner. I cannot describe how proud I am of myself for getting through it and having the courage to try it again. I have seen so many of you grow as leaders and as people this year. And while I was a little afraid to be more personable and friendly to y'all in the beginning of the year, and I was very just like to myself, I'm very happy that you made me feel comfortable and happy to get to know you as people and feel protected and safe with you on this council. Thank you so much for that. I am proud of the way that we've cared for each other over the past year. Thank you to those especially who have been so fearless, unapologetic, to those of you with a backbone to stand for students, and to those of you who genuinely give a damn. Um, because it takes a lot because you're very visible on this campus and to a degree it's dangerous. So thank you. I hired 23 directors for the first time, fully staffed in the commission in the past 3 years. I made the 31st Broom Bash, EAF, and RecFest possible with Mason. That summer was so wonderful. Thank you so much for that summer. This year I planned over 100 events such as Word on Wednesdays, galleries, concerts, pleas, healing spaces, actions, workshops, panels, and more, all rooted in edutainment. With incredible orgs and my 9 series, I could not have remained more steadfast. I could not have survived this year without our communities. Thank you to SJP, Samahong Filipino, UC Divest, Anak Bayan, Ideas, Undocumented Student Network, Caribbean Student Association, East African Student Association, Middle Eastern Student Association, Muslim Student Association, United Khmer Students, and the project of the CRC. Those just like the closest to me, because I could not be alive right now without their support. It has been a really difficult year for me. Most importantly, PAC's extensive cultural and political history on this campus, above all, prioritizes the safety and empowerment of BIPOC students of color, as you all have seen. And I'm very proud of how we've led the commission this past year, and I can say that I'm also just as proud of Promises, Kalechi's, Serena's, Malik's, Amy's, notably George Chacon, and the late Willis Veluz Abraham, who we will dedicate the next JRF to. Those are all commissioners of CAC who I would not be here without them, without their love and labor for CAC and the way they understand the reach it has. And I'm so proud of our decisions. I do not regret canceling the remainder of events for this quarter. But yeah, fuck Zionism, because if Zionism weren't a thing, we would be having something Memorial Day. But the important months of work and dedication that our staff and directors put into these experiences and how much these events mean to us is immeasurable, and especially that of JRF's teams putting together the festival throughout the entire year. But I cannot wait to see the liberation of our people. I cannot wait to see the world we have been fighting for, because the moment I finally sign off on this, I will not be engaging in more bureaucratic systems that stall our movements, and cannot wait to shift to grassroots organizing. Because yeah, it cannot happen in formal bureaucratic system. So just want to say thank you for my second year and for keeping me on my feet. Um, you make me very, very proud. And you make in this upcoming council very happy to be in it. Congrats to all of those who were elected. I can't wait to work with you. And thank you.
Nalaya.
Okay.
Dr. Howell.
Oh, hello. There we go. Hi everyone. So I will start with a few updates in terms of like commission things. But so the Denef Transit Pedestrian Count Project is going to be starting this week. It was delayed, but we are finally going tomorrow and Thursday in order to help UCLA Transportation with their research. So folks will be stationed at on the hill in front of Saxon in order to count the number of pedestrians going either way, scooters going either way, vehicles as well. So if you've got 15 minutes to help out, I have linked the sign up spreadsheet on my officer report, so you can check it out there. Additionally, in terms of the past week, I attended our weekly Sustainable Move Out check-in meetings. We've finalized a few more details about the program. I will probably be hanging around in those meetings until the end of the year as well. On Monday, I was also in the meeting with ABC Michael Beck for USAC's monthly meeting and asked him questions related to security officer presence on campus and the violent counter protests on campus. And lastly, this is the last week to submit public comments to Metro regarding the possible elimination of STC Alternative 2. I think it'd be great to eliminate Alternative 1, 2, 1 as well. I mean, so definitely if you've got 3 seconds, you can go to the public comment form that's linked on my officer reports and fill out an anonymous public comment. So go for it. Okay. I was going to start this off with like, I'll be brief because I think a lot of other people said what I'm going to say, but I'm probably not going to be brief and I just want to be transparent about that. So, as for like a larger statement kind of about my term and experience in FAC and the Facilities Commission, frankly, I wish I'd thought to had to compile like a list of office accomplishments, but alas, I did not. You are all more than welcome to check out, I think, the 66-page document that is linked in terms of our officer reports throughout the year. It's got all of that information. In terms of like my personal journey, I've been in FAC since winter quarter of my first year. I'm very, very grateful to this office. It's given me a lot of friends and love and goals for the future and a lot of unnecessary knowledge about the way this institution works. Truly, I think that I've like grown a lot in my time in this commission. And even now, as I'm ending my unexpected term as facilities commissioner, I'm super, super fortunate to have been connected with this circle of people who all share like intense interests in sustainability, accessibility, and disability justice and transportation and infrastructure. Thank you to everyone who made me feel like welcomed in this space and helped me transition into this role as facilities commissioner. Thank you so much, everyone in SGA and SGS. Thank you specifically, Fernando and Jonathan, for bearing the brunt of my questions. Thank you to the previous facts that I remain friends with and talk to consistently. Thank you to all of my incredible exec board, all of my incredible PDs, all of the incredible staff. I am so, so grateful that you all continue to trust in me throughout my term, and I will be hanging around a little bit. I cannot state enough to everyone in this room how much I appreciate your validation, your support, and everything in between. This has been an experience, to say the least. I originally came into this role with the understanding that I would be representing student interests in the aforementioned realms of sustainability, accessibility, disability justice, transportation, and infrastructure. But I did really quickly learn that there's a lot more to being a USAC council member. For better or for worse, I will not easily forget these past few months. And I really hope that everyone in this room knows that before your roles, I think of you as people. Alex, I know that I've only known you for a year-ish, but in that year-ish, I've seen you grow in your role as a project director for Brew and Bazaar in Facilities Commission. Truly, I am very excited for you to take on the role as commissioner, and I think you're going to be great. You've gotten me and so many past facts rooting for you, and similar to Megan, I will probably still be hanging around in ASCCLA, but I will no longer be active in the Facilities Commission. I will continue to strongly advocate for a disability cultural center and increased access to effective public transportation in this area. Before I sign off, I also just wanted to share some of my thoughts on USAC as a whole. Y'all, we're in a really unique space. As student leaders and representatives for over 30,000 undergraduate students. You have all been elected to your positions, unopposed or not, with very specific goals and platforms. To all of the incoming commissioners, your offices have many long-term projects and goals. You are a leader in your respective areas, whether that be academic affairs, facilities, financial supports, community service, cultural affairs, campus events, student wellness, etc. I encourage all of you to work together on intersectional projects. Students' issues don't always fall into one bucket in one of those areas. It's really, really important to make sure that you're addressing intersectional issues. Additionally, all of our gen reps, while you'll be working on your own projects, you are also uniquely situated to collaborate with other council members. ISR and TSR, you've got unique roles in that you've got eyes on a specific population in UCLA. But don't forget that even amongst those populations, not all international students are the same, not all transfer students are the same. There's a lot of diversity even in those areas. For IVP and EVP, you've got a lot on your hands. Adam, you're building a new administration. He's not even in the room. Where you go? I'll tell him this later. Additionally, it is very, very Naomi. Additionally, it is so, so important that y'all remember that amidst all of our
back.
Adam, I had a comment for you. You've got a new administration to build. So for everyone else, it is so, so important that you all remember that amidst all of your personal disputes, whatever's going to come up, we are all students who are very passionate and interested in serving our communities. That's the only reason we're here. No one else would take this job otherwise. And as a council, you are stronger together. You will be a diverse council, but you are not representative of all identities. There are thousands of identities that aren't represented on this council, and it's really important that you reach out to those communities as well. And you don't try to represent them. You need to expand and let their voices be heard. Don't let your personal disputes or infighting distract you from larger goals at hand. It is you all together, all 15, against the greater powers that be, whether it's within this administration or elsewhere. I am very, very proud of you all, and I'm excited to see where you go. And I am proud to sign off as the 2024 USAC Facilities Commissioner and proud to introduce Alex as the 2024-2025 USAC Facilities Commissioner.
Fast forever. Yeah, you already know. All right, we're gonna pass it off to Sarah.
Thank you, Naomi. Wow. I've been on this council for 2 years, which is sort of crazy to say. So I want to first start off with talking about my office and thanking some very important and special people. FSC has been one of both the highlights and hardest things that I've done at UCLA. I want to thank all the people in the office and all the council members that have supported me and that have been on the phone with me at 3 a.m. when things are getting especially hard. I want to thank Nico for being by my side since like day one. I want to thank Nate, my assistant commissioner. I want to thank everyone in my office and the SGS staff for always being there, for always supporting, for always the check-ins. I very much appreciate it. Even if I'm bad at responding to your messages, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just busy and tired. I was really proud of what FSC was able to accomplish the past 2 years, from New York Times to giving out lab coats to helping out parenting students. Like, all of it was equally as important, and I'm very proud of the work that we did and the work that we accomplished. I think if there's anything else about that. No, I think that's it for that part. And then I want to, I think, talk about council this year and give advice to future council members. Being in this position for 2 years has taught me an encyclopedic knowledge about like what it means to be a council member and the ins and outs of this role. And there are times when it will like very much push you, and times when I've thought of resigning because for so many different reasons or the other, or like you just don't want to do the role anymore. And I think it's important to think about one, the impact that you can have, and like the students that you can touch and help, even if it feels at times thankless or no one's listening. There are people listening, and there are people that appreciate you. I also think, I hope the council next year, I want to echo some statements that previous council members said, to do better next year. I think this council sometimes failed at listening to each other, and sometimes failed at hearing everyone's voices and being respectful at the same time, and really didn't live up to setting an example for our student body at times. I felt very isolated. I know almost every council member I've talked to felt isolated at times because they didn't feel like they could have a voice here for fear of being doxxed or anything like that. And I think that even if you disagree at the end of the day next year, I think definitely see your fellow council members as people first, and as everyone who's here to because they want to help and represent students overall in their community overall. I also think that uh, the rhetoric recently in USAC has reached an all-time low, and that should also be a priority of like, no matter how you feel about the other council members or their views at the table, like respect and decorum should be number one, because you are the only 15 people who know what you're dealing with. You are the only 15 people on council probably who might get death threats from students for taking a stand on things, and you need to have each other's back in that regard. So I think this year was especially difficult in part because we didn't have that, and I really hope that you guys do. This was a very dark note. But I just, yeah, I want to end on a positive, and I want to say that I hope better for you guys. I know you guys can do better. And like the reason that I have done USAC for 2 years is not what people might say for the pennies or anything like that. But because it is for the students, you are here for the students. Do not be here for the plaque. The plaque does not help you. Like, do not be here for the prestige. Be here for like the work that you put in every day and the people you get to meet. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Tennis, tennis.
Hey.
Oh, Naomi.
Love you, Pookie.
Man, I think I'm gonna be a train wreck. I wish I had, yeah, I wish I had written something down because now it's hard to think, but oh, thank you.
The Taco Bell?
I was using my Taco Bell napkins. Damn it, we didn't take pictures yet. Yeah, very similar to the other council members. I wish I had put together a list. I wish I had written something, but I can say that SWC has achieved so much this year. SWC got political, SWC got brave, a little bit cooler, hopefully, because wellness is a hard thing to get people to just sign themselves up for. But we sometimes myself begrudgingly did all of the annual events. Events are not my strong suit. But I want to thank my SW4, they're my core team, for always having my back, for being my community. I want to thank my roommates for always being interested in what's going on at USAC, for running me dinner sometimes here. Greg and Elizabeth, shout out. I even want to like thank my ex. Just kidding, for half the year. No. For being my support. And I thank Janice for showing myself that I also didn't need him. I want to
Gonna go crazy.
I want to thank just a few shout outs on council. I want to thank Chaying for always being so sweet, always giving me fridge space for SWC. Megan always giving me food. Sujana always making me laugh throughout the week, sending the most random questions in our group chat. Mason for being my bestie on council, always giving me rides home. Adam and Alicia for exemplifying advocacy and for your community, and setting just like the example for me on how to fight for a liberated Palestine and to stand on my 2 feet for and to really take a stance in what I really believe in, and standing on all the other brave people, all the brave Asian Americans who also decide to get political. I want to thank, yeah, Eva, you're also always making me laugh. Yeah, for one reason or another. And of course, Jonathan and Fernando for carrying all of my questions, all of my Slacks, all of my text messages, and for also making me laugh. And for, this is Kiara, guys. For Kiara, yeah. She's such a precious and sweet soul, and I really hope that you guys take care of her, pour into her. I'm she had a lot of opponents, you guys, and so all of a sudden we care about student wellness. So I had to hold back for a bit, but I'm so looking forward, Kiara, to working with you these next couple weeks. I'm not clocking out. I'm making sure we make a strong transition and making sure the work keeps getting done. And for, I guess, like the rest of council, the new council, and also Kiara, I really think, there were some times during this year where I hesitated on getting too involved. There were times where I tried to stay unemotional, tried to stay detached. There were times where I just didn't want to be the person who got too into student government, I didn't want to get weird, but it's really it's you know what? Now I'm proud to say it's good to get weird. It's good to care, and you only have 1 year, maybe 3, like Alicia sometimes, but for now you have 1 year, so take advantage of that. Like there were moments of exhaustion, there were moments of was this the right decision? But now, like standing on the last day, I'm like, man, I wish I had done more. Man, I wouldn't had wallowed sometimes. Like you have the opportunity of a lifetime. My family, I'm even an immigrant, got my citizenship this year, and this. Oh, yeah, my grandparents didn't survive war for nothing. I'm gonna make my time on this earth count, and and yeah, so please care, please no, everyone says, don't just take the pennies and go, but truly, like, you have an opportunity. You're in a beautiful position to change people's lives, to make this campus, make this world a better place. So take it. And yeah, and I really think hopefully going into next year, especially because so much like trauma has been inflicted on our campus, I hope we can build community and build connection. The reason why I like did student wellness commission and joined the little committee that started it for myself, while I was at home actually freshman year during the pandemic, I joined like a basic needs committee in SWC without understanding it was a part of student government. But that all started out because I had my own like mental health journey, and I also had witnessed the Black Lives Matter movement. I just thought, you know, with my extra time in college, I really want to do something that gives back to people, that gives the marginalized communities more resources and things like that. And what started off as like a personal journey has turned into such a collective one and a collective vision for love, support, community, and connection. And I'm so proud of my commission. I'm so excited for our like banquet and graduating. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud of this year's council, myself, and welcome next year's council, and welcome Kiara.
Megan H.
Hi. Alrighty. Wow, my first and last in-person meeting.
Actually,
It really feels like yesterday that my first meeting was like 10 hours ago or 10 hours long, and that's probably because it was 2 months ago. That meeting was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, so
8.
what a meeting. What a crazy 2 months. Don't have a lot to say, but maybe I do. If you look at my written updates, they are short, just like my term.
Stand up.
Just being real.
Uh,
But despite having a short 2 month term here, I do want to say that I've been so honored to share this space with you all. As a student who's first gen, a transfer student, and Black, it means so much to me to be able to contribute to diversity in various intersectional backgrounds. So that's honestly what makes it so meaningful, despite it being 2 months long. As previously said, council does not represent all identities. Um, among other communities, we are losing Black voices on council from what I know. So and a lot of other communities as well. So I just want to make sure that the new council is making space for various communities, hearing their concerns, and actually taking action. That's very important, you guys. You can't just listen, gotta hear and take action. So that's very important. Also, I'm very excited to welcome Mona. Mona is literally incredible. We've chatted so much, and she's just an absolutely lovely person. So deserving of this role, and I know you're gonna do amazing things with it. I told Mona, I told Mona before the meeting that I basically said that it's very important for Mona to just, you know, stay in the role, continue going. History hasn't been the greatest, but that doesn't mean it can't change in the TSR role. So I'm really excited to see what Mona does with it. To call out people, but I just mean like, I'm excited for Mona.
yes. What's that from?
Real, real. And thank you all so much again for welcoming me into this space 2 months ago. Thank you to Jonathan, who really put the support in student government support. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Fernando, for constantly meeting with me and answering all my questions constantly, literally like 24/7. I really appreciate it. Shout out Jessica. Sorry. Shout out Jessica. And all the other admin reps. You guys are incredible. Even if I didn't talk to you, you still are incredible. And I know that. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you after council. But yeah, and to the new council, congratulations. It's really so sweet being here and seeing all of the outgoing and incoming council members, and yeah, enjoy it. That's all. I'm signing off from yeah, someone who probably had the shortest term in USAC, but really enjoyed it.
All right. Last but not least, my president, Adam.
Hey everyone. So I've had a very, very busy past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, not with a lot of ISR stuff. But I did have a few updates. So we hosted our charity volleyball tournament with MISA, LSA, and the DIA project. I've been working on transition documents, and I met with Tamim a couple of times to discuss the office goals and USAC overall. I wanted to take some time to thank everyone that has been with me on this incredible journey, from our admin representatives to my office members, and of course, all my fellow council members. I think more than anything, besides being my coworkers, you were all mentors of mine. You've set great examples on how to be a good leader and how to be a good person. I came into USAC as the USAC baby, and now I'm coming out as the next USAC president. In large in large part due to everything I've learned from you all and all the support I've gotten. The ISR office, although it's small, it's growing in size and impact, and I'm sure that Tamim will do great things next year. And of course, I'm going to be here to watch it. We have a lot of work to do. I'm super, super happy with the incoming council, and I'm sure we're going to do great things. So as I transition from ISR to the office of the president, I want to thank everyone and anyone that's helped me in any way over the past year. A lot is coming, so be on the lookout. Thank you so much.
Before we go to admin, I said I was gonna come back to so here we coming back to me. Okay. So hey y'all, I didn't know we were doing that little series of work that we've done. So we're coming back to me. Okay. So I just want to name some of the committees that I sat on this year just because there was a lot, an historic amount of committees made, task forces made that didn't quite get a lot done, but we sat on them. We sat on the meetings. So this year, I sat on the Alumni Association Board of Directors, our University of California Council of Presidents, Association of Big Ten Students, our Chancellor Search Committee, our Advisory Search Committee for our UCPD Chief, the Dean of Students Committee, our Downtown Programming Board, our UCLA South Bay Implementation Board. I also was able to sit on our UC Unhoused Task Force, our True Bruins Value Refresh Task Force, and our Campus Safety Oversight Task Force, among others. Besides that, there was a lot of work that came from my office. I'm excited to say that we were able to do all of the platforms that I ran on. It was very intentional in having 3 strong platforms that were actionable and doable. We did our town hall series where we got to meet with various clubs all across the board that were sole registered, to hear their concerns and also help them guide through our USAC, previous USAC website to navigate funding and answering questions there. We also did a lot of community events, starting with our open house that we did once we first came back to campus. There was a lot of organizing there that got us a chance to interact with students and also give away a few freebies. We also did other events with community breakfasts, community dinners, and also we did events on the Hill as well, where we got to do a little trivia of what is USAC for students there. Besides that, we did a lot. We did a lot. The work was definitely hard in balancing everything that was happening in the office, but also in our council. Seconding what other people say, if you are in here for the money, it is not good. Like I have to work multiple other jobs to pay for my way. I know we got RAs in here. We got we got a lot of people in here that are working other jobs. You are in here, and I really truly hope it is to support students. As Megan H said, it's one thing to hear students, it's another thing to actually do the work and do the action. I hope to see in future resolutions some of those action items in the whereas the last part get done. I think there's so much work to do. I'm glad to say our commuter parking permit program is up and running. That was an initiative that we did last year and brought it back. So 75K is going to that. We had $10,000 go to our Student with Dependence program under the Bruin Resource Center. We had $10,000 go to our Black Bruin Resource Center, which is historically underfunded. We had $10,000 go to our Transfer Center to support the work that they do with student programming. We had $10,000 go to our Veteran Center to also support their work. And then we also did a lot of funding to our BOD and contingency programming to support this work of student organizations that they do to help bring the community that there is at UCLA. That was 300K. I'm so glad that those initiatives are off and running while we're still wrapping up one more with the Bruin Card fee waiver program. Hopefully that will get done before we get out of the term. But yeah, I want to thank you all for your time. And with that, we're going to pass it on to our administrators. Thank y'all too. Go.
Hello, everyone. I'll try to keep mine short. I do have one update, but I'll save that for the end. First, I'd like to say it's been an absolute pleasure working with all of you. I'm very proud to see the development. I've seen some of you be here 2 years, 3 years. What I have said is that you all are very unique and you all are awesome. The things that you all do, the challenges you experience. I just had to, tip my hat to you all. You guys are those that are graduating. I have no doubt that you're going to go on to bigger and better things. Those that will be back on campus will be doing just other awesome stuff in your other capacities. Shout out to Naomi for being your fearless leader. It's been a challenge for you, so I just got to also tip my hat to you and the work that you were able to do. Big shout out to my fellow administrators. Not all at UCLA admin are evil, and I like to think that I work with some of the best. So thank you very much. It's been a great working with you, and I'm going to continue working with you in the upcoming years. Our student staff, Ronan, you come in and doing your thing. So I know he's always here, sets us up. Doesn't matter how late we're at, he will break down. He's always running around. Thank you so much, Ronan. Sydney, I don't think she's on, but if she was here, I would say you're awesome too. All those awesome notes. I always reach out to her when I miss something with my notes. And so, yes, and to the incoming elected officials, commissioners, officers, you all are worked really hard to get to these positions, your elections, and the other work that you do. I'm looking forward to working with you in this next coming year and advancing your agendas, whatever those agendas are. And so finally, my last update is well, at least for this round, is next week is our Charles E. Humanitarian Award. That's sole host. We recognize 10 community service projects and their individual leaders. We will then recognize the 3 winners of the process, but we will recognize all 10 community service projects. In addition, we also, for the past few years, have offered the Berkey E. Nelson Award, where Berkey was, unfortunately, may he rest in peace, but he was a very active on our campus, including being the sole director. And so we named a special award after him. And this year's recipient is our very own Gabby. So big shout out to Gabby. And so, but yes, so I invite you all to next week's Charles U. Humanitarian Award. It will be on Thursday night, Kirkhoff Grand, no, Poly Pavilion. Thank you, Lori. Yes, don't tell anybody I said that. 6 p.m. 5 p.m. Thank you. Getting my times mixed up. Yeah. No, I'm not organizing it, but our office is. So yes, so please come out, support the community service projects, including Gabby, your fellow council member. Thank you.
Lori.
So first I want to say I did not mean to dress like the tablecloths tonight. But I was told I had to dress nice because there's pictures. So anyway, so you got me, the chameleon with the table. To this year's council, this is my second year advising USAC, and you guys have all shown me different student perspectives, which I find fascinating, and I have learned so much from you. My first year, I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. This year was different because I was able to open my mind and listen to your perspectives and see all your goals and meet with you and whatnot. I have some kind of funny memories, but if I'd share them, I might cry. So one really funny one was I remember sitting in my very first Zoom with Sujana, and she was asking me what my favorite TV shows were and what books I read, and it was just like this very natural, like I'd known her all my life conversation. So that was very sweet. So don't cry. I have assisted Naomi with wardrobe malfunctions. Brew and bash with I can't. Okay. Well, I get you again. So, but with Mason, I look forward to your underwear distribution for Undie Run,
Yeah.
allegedly. To next year's council, my name is Lori. I'm one of your student affair admin representatives. I am here to work with you. Orlando's also a student affairs representative. If you didn't know, we're here to help you with your platforms and work with you on your office's goals and to make your dreams come true. And I guess that's all I have to say. Yeah.
Woo! Hey, hi, hello.
Hey, hi, hello for the last time. Congratulations on getting here. It is no small feat. I do actually have a decent laundry list of things for you all. So, um, in the spirit of this is your last meeting, so I have no fear in calling you out. I'm missing keys from Gabby, Katie, Sarah, Sujana, Janice, and Alicia, and I'm missing a transition doc from Sarah.
Damn. Double hummer.
So if you are one of those people, you owe me things, please get them to me. And if you are not one of those people, please come by my office and get your USAC cord if you have yet to. If you are one of those people, you can have your cord when I have my things. Yes, Janice.
Transactional.
Sure. Yeah.
Go Gami.
I do also want to implore you all, it seems like most of you have, but to meet, have like an actual sit down meeting with your successor, go over those transition materials, and really assist them as they step into this gigantic role. Another great reminder to submit any outstanding recs you have now. A reminder that you all still have signatory authority over your funds until the end of the ASUCLA fiscal year, which is July 31st. However, all recs are due in June. I'll let you know the exact date once I know it, but sooner rather than later, all recs due in June. A reminder also that for your transitions, next Wednesday is the day that we are transitioning your social media accounts and offices. So by Wednesday, so if you have things in your office and you're not returning to that office in any capacity, please take them out. Please don't steal anything that belongs to your office, though. There are plenty of things that get passed along. But be out by the end of day Tuesday because we will be giving access to the new folks starting Wednesday if they like it. Same thing with social media. If you have more things left to post, maybe coordinate with that new person to see how you can make that work, but they should have access to it by that day. Friday of next week is the same process for your official emails. The new folks should be getting or have their elect emails, but you should give them that access by Friday. If you need continued access to it for Rex or whatever reason, work with them or me on that, but they need that access by Friday. While you have your social media accounts for a little less than a week, if you'd like to do any more boosting for the BOD appointments, I know your incoming folks would greatly appreciate it because they will have 1 week from being seated to when the due date is.
Got apps.
Yeah. Okay, great. So any assistance there would be great. Jessica is out. If you couldn't tell, she is in Nashville for her birthday on vacation. Well deserved. So if you have anything outstanding with her, please come to me instead. And just in general, if you have things for your office, whatever, let's connect this week. If you got surplus allocations to pay your staff and that process isn't done, please connect with Fernando this week as well. We had a lot of people last year that came surfacing multiple months after the fiscal year closed that were like, I never got paid. And we're like, okay, well, we don't really know what to do. So let's avoid that. I mean, we figured it out, whatever. But let's avoid that.
We are out. Monday's Memorial Day. We are out Monday, so we will be back Tuesday. I will, if you'd like to be added to the USAC alumni Facebook page. I know, but you can since you're done now, you can friend me on Facebook and I will add you to it. You all are also being entered into the alumni listserv, USAC alumni listserv, and we're just now about to start recruiting for the alumni representative position, which is being reimagined. So you wouldn't have to come here every week. It's just twice a quarter to like give presentations and things like that. And you sit on the alumni board as well. So if that interests you, keep an eye out or let me know because we'd love to have someone with actual USAC experience. And then last but not least, please don't be a stranger. Just because you're not on council anymore doesn't mean my door is not always still open for you. If you need a reference, whatever it may be, don't hesitate to let me know. You all were my first full council in this role. So thank you for allowing me to grow and learn with you all and for your trust and all of your care. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year. I will give my spiel to the new folks next week. Bye.
Goodbye below.
Is the alumni position paid? Sorry.
That's a very important question. Jonathan reminded me of something. Unlike ASUCLA, which is June for requisitions, Soul funding is this Friday. So if your office or other organizations you belong to have any funding that they need to use this year, it does go away. Afterwards, you will not have access to it. It does not roll over. So please fill out your recs this week and submit them in. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If your program is happening after this week, you still need to submit a requisition. There's a special way to do that. Just once again, reach out to me and I can explain that to you. But yeah, Friday is a hard deadline. Yep.
Okay. Fernando, did you want to say anything? Not to put you on the spot. You don't have to.
Love you.
Jaja.
Like, quick update when it comes to hiring. So I referred a lot of the student staff that are being hired with the surplus funding to HR. There's still also just student staff as well. They're trying to get through them all. So again, if there's any questions, don't go to HR first, go to me first. And then if right now, it's a heavy hiring because we're hiring the new wave of student government hires, and we're also going to be hiring the new folks. So if you have any questions about when does your stipend start, just reach out to me. My door is always open as well. That's the best way to contact me right now, unfortunately. But Slack works too. And I guess when it comes to all of you, I'm getting better at letting council go. So I'm equally as invested, but it's I do remember my first council, just like first full council, just like Jonathan. It was much more equally as invested, but much more emotional. But we grow and we learn to not fully invest our emotions into it, but have the same type of compassion, same type of support. I the way I've always had excellent councils. I've never had a really terrible one. So I'm crossing my fingers. And I think that happens because you guys are elected for a reason. And eventually everyone at their own pace grows, and it's nice to see the growth at the very end of the year. Even when you're speaking, when your heads are held up high at the end of the year, um, seeing some tensions at the end of the year go away, or not go away, but grow, and you guys are able to be in the same space. So I'm excited to see the new council grow. I'm excited because of all the growth that you have shown. And I guess the way I support you all is it's very ghost like. So um, it's more so if you have any questions when it comes to your finances, SGA can always help, but I can also help. Um, but I put all my energy into supporting you all, and don't save enough for myself, but that is fine. Um, because uh, you guys are council members to support students, and I am also here to share that same mission and goal to support students at the end of the day. And all the admin are here. I'm here because they share the same mission, and I feel it. So it was a great year.
Jonathan?
Wanted to say a couple words because I didn't give you all your flowers when I had my turn, and I just want to turn back and give you guys your flowers, especially you, Fernando. You quite literally carried me. Like I remember the various times they'd be like, "Is Fernando available?" At the front desk, and they'd be like, "Yeah, come on in," and I'd literally go to him and like vent, and you heard me out. And I really appreciate that. And Orlando too. I appreciate the advice and the conversations we've had. Um, Jonathan as well, my name twin. Um, Lori, every interaction I've had with you is always really sweet, and I always remember that. Yes, oh my God, I remember that one time, core memory of mine. But yeah, just to say thank you all so much. I think your effort doesn't go unseen, and I don't think we would be the people we are, or at the positions we are, or have done the work we've done if it weren't for you all. So thank you.
I love you. Cried too many times.
Ooh. Almost cried too many times. Okay. Pamela, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, if you were available to say anything. She's probably driving home. That should be me. Okay. Uh, okay. With that, we now have to motion into executive session for our last. Oh, my bad. Old business. Oh, that's what you. Okay.
It's a bylaw change to make TJF the position more clear so that the commissioner can choose whether or not they want to become the TJF chair. They can also serve as vice chair or committee member. It was on the agenda last week. According to the bylaws, every bylaw change must be on the agenda for 1 week before you vote on it. Just to let people know for next year. Any questions? Okay, good, because I have the document ready to sign. I motion to approve the TJF bylaw change.
Second.
Megan motions, Jonathan seconds. Wait, Megan motions, Jonathan seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, please lower your hands. All against, please raise your hand. All abstaining, please raise your hand. 12 to 0 to 0. That has passed. Amazing.
Sending it over now.
Ooh, she's on it. Okay. Now we will motion to move into executive session. That means all of our audience guests will have to leave, unfortunately. I apologize. We'll be taking us off of USAC Live as well while we